day, things seem to be getting worse and worse between the WNBA and the Players Union. In what should have been a very exciting time, as players, if they would have signed a new CBA, you'd have players jetting all over the place. You would have multiple expansion drafts and all this movement across the league. Fans would be getting excited about what their teams are going to look.
The room didn't erupt. It froze. Smiles locked up, energy vanished, and suddenly one name carried more weight than the commissioner's entire title. A league that preaches collective strength now looks visibly shaken by a single spotlight. No announcement, no explosion, just a quiet shift that exposed everything. This isn't about talent. It's not about bad timing. It's about control, optics, and what happens when the future kicks the door open, ignores the hierarchy, and refuses to ask for permission.
They say, folks, money talks, BS walks. And though the league and the players have not come to terms on a new collective bargaining agreement, the league and the owners are giving the general managers a clear message. Send out free agent offers anyway. Maybe if we dangle some dollars in front of these players' faces, they're more likely to say, I can go for a paycheck right now. Oh, I know we're all strong on this front, but I'm kind of hungry for a meal. I could use a couple.
They can posture all they want, but at the end of the day, money talks and the rest walks. No new CBA, no agreement in place, yet the message from the league and owners is crystal clear. Send the offers anyway. Dangle the checks. Test the resolve. Because if you put enough cash in front of someone, the hope is they'll blink and say, yeah, solidarity is cool, but rent is due. This isn't strategy, it's pressure. Starve the front, flash the paycheck, and see who breaks first.
Sage Steele just poured a dose of reality and cold water on these WNBA players about this whole pay thing, this lockout strike, whatever it is you want to call it. Sage Steele let it be known, hey, listen, man, y'all not all what y'all think y'all are, and y'all need to relax and take a chill pill. Let's get to what she...
Power always acts like it's unbothered, right up until the furniture starts moving on its own. 1 second the league swears everything's under control, the next a single player is selling out arenas, hijacking TV ratings, yanking merch sales into the future, and accidentally revealing just how shaky the whole foundation really is. No coup. No announcement. Just undeniable momentum exposing a system that wasn't built to be challenged this fast.
All this momentum, we talked about this. The WNBA had all this momentum from Caitlin Clark, the growth of the league, new media rights deal. And even without a lockout and or strike as of yet, this is damaging the league. This is fans are exhausted with it. Fans are exhausted with the Players Union and how they're approaching this and how they're acting.
Because here's the part no one can say without flinching. The WNBA finally got the moment it spent decades praying for, and now it looks low-key terrified of what that moment actually costs. Attention demands accountability. Stardom demands protection. Growth demands surrendering control. And suddenly the dream doesn't feel so comfortable anymore.
The WNBPA and the WNBA statement. The WNBA basically just said, we want to build upon the league. We want, basically, we know we want a deal that gives the best players more money, enhances the player experience and supports the long-term growth. The WNBA players, and by the way, the players are in the right to argue for this. The WNBA are basically being like, well, what the players want isn't sustainable. I think if the players could guarantee the league will continue to...
This was supposed to be the victory lap. Momentum secured. Headlines rolling. Eyeballs locked in. Relevance no longer optional. Then Caitlin Clark didn't just bring attention, she brought receipts. Arenas filled overnight. Broadcast numbers spiked. Interest didn't creep in, it flooded. And suddenly the league wasn't arguing for respect anymore, it was being forced to manage it.
That's the plan. So, the WNBPA and the WNBA statement. The WNBA basically just said, we want to build upon the league. We want, basically, we know we want a deal that gives the best players more money, enhances the player experience and supports the long-term growth. The WNBA players, and by the way, the players are in the right to argue for this. The WNBA are basically being like, well, what the players want isn't sustainable. I think if the players could guarantee,
Casual
and
fans
right
suddenly knew player names without a cheat sheet. That's when it should have been easy. And somehow that's when the league tripped over its own shoelaces. Because when one player is dragging the entire operation uphill like an Olympic sled and the league is still bleeding money, the questions don't come loud, they come quiet. Why does everything still feel stalled? Why does progress look cosmetic? Why is free agency frozen, expansion wobbling, arenas hedging their calendars like uncertainty doesn't pay rent? Nothing screams confidence like telling the world to wait, while momentum leaks out the back door. Fans are watching like they finally got front row seats, only to be told the show might be cancelled because leadership can't agree on who controls the lights. They were promised motion, excitement, growth, and instead got press releases, moratoriums, and the creeping realization that the league's biggest problem might not be outside disrespect, but inside confusion.
I think the league would make the deal, but there's no guarantee of that because everybody in the league is smart enough to know we are one Caitlin Clark injury away from this league going back to pre-2024, not 2023, but everything lower than 2024. Like, we all know this league is nowhere near as culturally relevant right now as it was in 2024. In the summer of 2025, did First Take talk about any women's basketball? They talked about any of these sports shows.
And right in the middle of the chaos is Caitlin Clark doing the most dangerous thing possible to a fragile power structure, making herself unavoidable. Everywhere she goes, the numbers chase her. Jerseys vanish. Arenas sell out. TV ratings spike like someone cranked the dial too far. She's not demanding control. She's not campaigning for power. She's not asking for anything. She just keeps showing up, hooping, and accidentally exposing exactly where the league's real value lives right now. And that's why it's so uncomfortable. When one player becomes the face, the engine, and the proof of concept all at once, it quietly reveals how little direction existed before she arrived. Even now, sold-out crowds, national buzz, non-stop attention. The disconnect isn't subtle anymore. Fans see it. Broadcasters see it. Sponsors definitely see it. Nothing exposes a system faster than watching one player create massive demand while everything around her struggles to keep up.
We know that there was no deal that was agreed upon by the January 9th deadline. We know that the WNBA owners left the players' text messages on red. That's right. Left them on scene, no response, and the players had an emotional statement. They went and put a rat outside the NBA store in New York. They put out this emotional statement talking about the WNBA owners are intentionally trying to run out the clock. And this will not, stop it. Stop it. Y'all are so busy trying to win over public perception. Y'all are forgetting that the most important thing is actually getting the damn
At a certain point, the math stops being ideological and starts being flat out embarrassing. Because here's the irony no one can dodge. Nobody gets to opt out of this. Caitlin Clark isn't just carrying visibility, she's carrying credibility. She's the living proof that the product sells when it's clear, bold, and finally allowed to breathe. Which drops an uncomfortable question straight in leadership's lap. If it works this well, why did it take so long? And why does it still feel like nobody knows what to do with it? That's where fans stop being hyped and start being suspicious. Not angry. Confused. Confused why growth is treated like a threat instead of a gift. Confused why negotiations feel like trench warfare instead of problem solving. Deadlines come and go. Business freezes. Everyone claims they're protecting the future while actively pressing pause on it. It turns into a staring contest where nobody wants to blink, even as the audience starts checking their phones. And the commissioner? Trapped in a position that somehow keeps getting worse the longer nothing changes.
I have to ask this question at this point in time because everyone in the players union is running around just slandering the WNBA. Nneka's slandering them. Nafisa Collier, she's going out her way crazy to slander them. Brianna Stewart is slandering them. And then, you gotta understand, Nneka's a package deal. Don't forget her sister, Sheenie Agumake. See, a whole bunch of things have to change at this point in time. I'm kind of glad we're here in a sense. But let me get back to my original point before I go there with it. Why is it so hard for Kathy to say, Nafisa, Brianna, Kelsey Plum?
On one side is tradition, titles, structure, authority, carefully managed control. On the other side is reality, which doesn't care about resumes or press statements. Reality cares about ticket sales, engagement spikes, and who actually keeps the lights on. And right now, reality has a very obvious favorite. That's when the whispers start. Not protests, not movements, just logic creeping into the room. If Caitlin Clark is already the league's gravitational center, why pretend she's just another interchangeable piece? If she's the one fans trust, follow, and rally around, why not let her help shape what comes next? That idea makes leadership uncomfortable, which is usually how you know it's dangerous, because it threatens a system built before this moment existed. And optics make it worse. You can say the right things all day, but optics don't negotiate. When fans see stalled growth, frozen progress, and public friction, they start imagining alternatives. They start picturing a league that actually follows the force driving its popularity, instead of nervously trying to contain it.
Turning our focus now to the WNBA, the league's collective bargaining agreement expired on Friday night without a new deal. The league and the Players Association have both released statements. Now, the league statement says, in part, as the league experiences a pivotal time of unprecedented popularity and growth, we recognize the importance of building upon that momentum. Our priority is a deal that significantly increases player salaries, enhances the overall player experience, and supports the long-term growth of the league for current and future generations of players and fans.
Not because Caitlin Clark asked for it, but because the universe basically demanded it. The league finally discovers a superstar who breaks every rule in the book. And what do? Hit the brakes. Debate structure. Overthink everything. Meanwhile, history is being made on the court and they're stuck in committee mode. It's like discovering fire and calling a board meeting to debate if warmth fits the brand. Meanwhile, the money is burning. Losses don't care about politics, PR statements, or curated messaging. They just pile up. And the only way out? Bold moves, fast decisions, real change. Fans get it. Caitlin Clark is rewriting the game. And the league? Still hesitating. Every second of delay just makes the gap bigger, the moment hotter, and the frustration louder. Caitlin delivers. The league stalls. And everyone watching? They already know who's winning.
Seriously, how hard is it to say that? Nneka Ogwumike, you're going to Project B. You're not even going to be here no more. You're on your last leg. You're not coming back to the WNBA. Why are we negotiating with you? Nafisa Kalia, you have unrivaled. You started your own league, and there's nothing wrong with that. It's your priority, cool. Just because you started your league don't mean you get more clout over here with us, though. The girl literally went on camera and said, being a owner of Unrivaled, she knows what it takes to run a sustainable league. And then 2 days later, the ratings came out. Content creators have more people watching them than these Unrivaled.
The commissioner keeps talking about process. Fans keep asking for progress. Every delay just proves the same uncomfortable truth. The league's leadership wasn't built for this moment. Leadership isn't about keeping order when nothing's happening. It's about steering chaos when everything is changing at once. And right now, change is sprinting, while the league is still tying its shoes. Enter Caitlin Clark. She's not demanding power, she's just filling a vacuum everyone can see. Fans crave momentum, clarity, confidence. Someone who shows where the league is going, not where it's been stuck. Every sold-out arena. Every ratings spike. Every stalled negotiation. Caitlin's success isn't just on the stat sheet, it's a mirror. And the reflection isn't flattering. The old approach. Time stops being an excuse. It becomes a liability. This could have been a masterclass in leadership. Lean into the moment, embrace the star, use her as a bridge to real change. Instead, defensive crouch. Managing optics. While the fans rewrite the story anyway. Because when fans see something working, they want more. When they see something failing, they stop pretending. Right now, the contrast is brutal. Caitlin Clark equals possibility. Current leadership equals hesitation. And the world is watching.
How hard is it to say that? Nneka Ogwumike, you're going to Project B. You're not even going to be here no more. You're on your last leg. You're not coming back to the WNBA. Why are we negotiating with you? Nafisa Kalia, you have unrivaled. You started your own league, and there's nothing wrong with that. It's your priority, cool. Just because you started your league don't mean you get more clout over here with us, though. The girl literally went on camera and said, being a owner of Unrivaled, she knows what it takes to run a sustainable league. And then 2 days later, the ratings came out. Content creators have more people watching them than these Unrivaled.
Here's the part nobody wants to admit. If the league keeps losing money, stalling growth, and fumbling momentum, even with its biggest star carrying the load, change won't be optional. It will be inevitable. Boards will ask questions. Sponsors will push. Fans will drift. And suddenly, decisions that once felt radical will feel overdue. Leadership isn't about clinging to a title. It's about earning it every day. And earning it gets harder when the person driving relevance has zero say in the direction. The longer that disconnect lasts, the louder the calls for change will get. Not rebellion. Common sense. The league is at a crossroads it never planned for. One path. Slow negotiation, cautious control, hoping momentum waits. The other? Accepting the uncomfortable truth. The future already has a face, and it's selling tickets faster than bureaucracy can blink. Fans already picked a side. The only question, how long will leadership pretend this is still up for debate? Because in sports, pretending has a shelf life. Momentum doesn't pause for committees. Stars don't wait for permission. They reshape the landscape, and everyone else either adapts or gets dragged behind, pretending it was their idea all along.